If there's one lesson I've learned digging in the soil season after season at Roots Haven grounds, it's this. The harvest you see above ground is always decided by what's happening below it. Bigger leaves don't mean much if roots are weak. More flowers won't save a plant that can't feed itself. But when you unlock explosive root growth, everything changes fast. Stronger plants, heavier yields, and a garden that suddenly feels alive. Today I want to share a single watering method that has transformed my beds more consistently than any fertilizer, gadget, or trendy garden hack. It's simple, affordable, and powerful enough that you only need to apply it once at the right moment to see a real difference. This isn't theory, this is something I use season after season because it works. Let's get into it. Most gardeners focus on what they can see, leaves, flowers, fruits. But roots are the command center. Healthy roots decide how much water a plant can absorb, how efficiently it takes up nutrients, and how well it handles stress like heat, drought, or disease. When roots are weak, plants stay hungry no matter how much you feed them. When roots are strong, plants almost feed themselves. The trick isn't dumping more nutrients into the soil. It's activating the biology that helps roots grow fast, branch aggressively, and form partnerships with beneficial microbes. That's where this watering method comes in. The secret isn't synthetic fertilizer, it's a microbial root activator tea, a living water that wakes up soil life and signals roots to expand rapidly. Think of it like an energy drink for your soil ecosystem. When applied once at planting time or early growth, this solution jumpstarts root branching, improves nutrient uptake, and creates a rhizosphere so active that roots push outward instinctively. I've seen transplants recover faster, seedlings establish deeper roots, and mature plants increase fruit size after a single application. The magic lies in biology, not chemicals. This isn't just compost tea, it's a targeted blend designed specifically to feed microbes that support root growth. The core idea is simple. Roots grow faster when beneficial bacteria and fungi surround them. These microbes release growth-promoting compounds, unlock nutrients trapped in the soil, and physically extend the root system through fungal networks. When you water with this solution, you're not feeding the plant directly. You're feeding the underground workforce that works for the plant. Once that workforce wakes up, roots respond immediately. Okay, so here's how I make the root explosion water at Roots Haven grounds. I like to keep this process simple and easy to repeat. First, grab yourself a bucket of non-chlorinated water. If your tap water's chlorinated, just let it sit out uncovered for about 24 hours so the chlorine can evaporate away. Living microbes really don't like chlorine, so this step matters. Next, toss in a handful of finished compost or worm castings. That's your microbial base. All the bacteria, fungi, and protozoa, basically everything your roots are hungry for. Now, add a little natural sugar source. Unsulfured molasses is my go-to, but honestly, raw honey or brown sugar will do the trick too. Remember, this is food for the microbes, not the plants themselves. After that, add just a small splash of liquid seaweed or some fermented plant extract if you've got it handy. This gives a boost of natural growth hormones that pretty much tell the roots it's time to get moving. Give it a good, vigorous stir for a few minutes. No need for any fancy air pumps here. We're just activating those microbes, not brewing for days. And here's the key. Use it right away. Timing, honestly, matters way more than how much you use. This watering works best at 3 key moments: right after you transplant, during early vegetative growth, or just before flowering kicks in. Those are the times when plants naturally want to push energy into root growth. So, water it directly at the base of your plant, soaking that root zone real thoroughly. You want the solution to reach deep enough to hit those active roots, not just dampen the surface. One application is enough, really. If you overdo it, you might make your plants a bit lazy, relying too much on the microbes and not building their own resilience. So, use it once and then honestly, just let nature handle the rest. Within just a few days, you'll see plants standing taller, but not getting all leggy. Leaves will get deeper in color, and new growth looks thicker, not stretched out. Underground roots start branching like crazy. Those fine feeder roots multiply, which means way more surface area for water and nutrients. This is actually where that triple your harvest effect begins. Not because the plants grow faster, but because they're growing smarter. In my own garden, I see tomatoes setting more fruit, peppers sizing up nice and even, greens bouncing back quicker after a harvest, and root crops bulking up instead of stalling out. And honestly, all of that comes from just one watering. Chemical fertilizers push top growth quickly, but they don't build infrastructure. They're like fast food for plants, quick energy, no long-term strength. This method builds a system. Once microbes establish, they continue working long after the watering is done. Nutrients cycle naturally, soil structure improves, water retention increases. You're not just feeding this season's crop, you're upgrading your soil for future harvests. That's why this approach is evergreen. It works in containers, raised beds, and in-ground gardens. It works for vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, and even ornamentals. The biggest mistake gardeners make is expecting instant miracles above ground. The real action, honestly, happens below first. Just be patient for, a week or two and let roots do their thing. Another mistake is using poor quality compost. If your compost smells bad or isn't fully broken down, just skip it. Healthy microbes come from healthy compost. And finally, don't combine this watering with strong fertilizers on the same day. Let biology establish before you push nutrients. If you're new to gardening, this method really removes the guesswork. Strong roots forgive mistakes. Miss a watering, roots help compensate. Soil a little off, microbes help balance it. And if you've been gardening for years, this technique brings real consistency. It smooths out seasons, improves reliability, and reduces dependency on inputs. That's exactly why I keep coming back to it. Simple systems that work every time are worth keeping. At Roots Haven Grounds, the goal has always been resilience. Gardens that don't collapse under heat, pests, or poor weather. Gardens that produce steadily instead of burning out. This one-time root explosion water fits perfectly into that philosophy. It's not flashy, it's foundational. And foundations are what hold big harvests. If you want more food from the same space, stop chasing leaves and start building roots. One thoughtful watering at the right time can outwork months of feeding later. Try this method once this season and pay attention, not just to what you harvest, but to how your plants behave. Strong roots change everything. If this kind of practical, soil-first gardening speaks to you, make sure you subscribe to Roots Haven Grounds on YouTube for more real-world techniques that actually work. Share this article with a fellow gardener who's tired of weak plants and small harvests. Healthy roots grow harvests. Let's grow them together.